The ceremony is now beginning. Please welcome Dean Agustin Rayo to the lectern.
Welcome, everyone, and welcome to our graduates. You are joined today by family, by loved ones, by your mentors. Let's thank them, too, for their unwavering support. Like you, I came to MIT for my graduate degree. MIT took a chance on me, a nerdy kid from Mexico City with embarrassing gaps in his knowledge of the philosophy of mathematics, but with fire in his belly. And coming to MIT was transformative. It was the first time in my life where I felt truly at home. And it was the first time in my life where I felt like the limits to my intellectual development were all my own. Many of you have traveled far to get here, not just because you come from all over the world, but because of the obstacles you've had to overcome. And today, you are the best of MIT. Advancements in science and engineering can improve our lives in countless ways. But the truth is that science and engineering applied blindly are not going to make the world a better place. If you want to make the world a better place, you need to understand how it works. And understanding how it works requires understanding its economic, political, social, ethical, human dimensions. So the work you do is critical to our future. You've all left your mark on this institute through your research, but also through the relationships that you've built during your time here. I hope that those relationships continue to flourish over the years, and I hope that you will always think of yourselves as part of the MIT family. Our speaker today is Anna Russo. She's an economics PhD. After graduation, she's going to join the Harvard Society of Fellows as a junior fellow. And after that, Harvard's economics department as an assistant professor. Anna works on market design problems and environmental economics and health economics. She focuses on the design of optimal policy given constraints, as it might be asymmetric information. Her results can be used to design markets for conserving lands or flood insurance or veterans' health care. And her work will fundamentally change the way we think about environmental and healthcare economics. Anna, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Augustine, thank you so much for that very kind introduction. To all of you graduating today, congratulations. It's such a privilege to be here receiving degrees alongside all of you and to have the opportunity to speak. And to everybody who traveled from around the world to be here with us in this room, welcome to MIT and to Cambridge, Massachusetts. So over the past few weeks, I've been reflecting on the idea that this degree ceremony feels different from other degree ceremonies that I've attended in the past. Of course, there are clear superficial differences. We're older, these degrees are longer, and these robes are puffier. But there are substantive differences too. And the main substantive difference that I've been thinking about is the fact that how I'll spend my time tomorrow and next month and next year is pretty similar to how I spent my time yesterday and last month and last year. I'll have the opportunity and the privilege to work on my research and think about what sparks my interest in the world. I'll think about the same papers and research questions tomorrow as I did yesterday, as my research evolves continuously through this moment, the same as many of you. And this is different from other graduations in the past, which have clearly marked transitions in the way that we think and learn and spend our time. In high school, we moved from imposed to self-directed learning and the beginning of independence. In college, there was perhaps an even greater transition from learning to the working world. And of course, our lives right now will be marked by transition as we move to new institutions, new cities, learn from new colleagues, and take on new responsibilities in our post-PhD life. But fundamentally, we were researchers yesterday and will be researchers tomorrow. And so, for me at least, that makes this moment more about reflection than transition. Reflection on how much we've learned and how far we've come leading up to this day. What types of topics and questions can hold our attention as we study them for years. How to define a question and answer it with rigor. How to not give up when there are obstacles in our way. How to write and how to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. How to learn and work from others and how to teach. And so with each incisive question from our advisors or from our peers, with each sentence that we wrote or line of code, we were growing up until this day and will continue doing so and continue learning when we take off the puffy gowns and the hats and continue on with our lives after this ceremony. But moments of reflection like this are so valuable because they give us an opportunity to pause and take a breath and look back with pride and gratitude on how far we've come from when we started the PhD or other degrees. One thing that I hope that you've all experienced is that moment where you think to yourself, wow, I actually could never have believed that I was capable of this. And MIT, I think, does a pretty good job of setting a high bar and helping us get there. So I hope that many of you have experienced this feeling organically. But if you haven't, then I'll give only one piece of advice in this whole speech, which is to read something that you wrote in the first year of graduate school. You will be so amazed at how far you've come, although it comes with a warning, which is that if you're anything like me, you'll be equally horrified at where you were at the time. And so opportunities of reflection like this are not only moments to look back, but also opportunities to look forward. How we'll take the lessons learned here at MIT into our lives post-graduation. And in this regard, I have no experience at all or advice to give. I'm as clueless about life post-MIT as anybody graduating here today. And so I thought I'd instead draw some lessons on what it means to forge a life and career as an MIT graduate from the life and career of an MIT graduate who I admire. And this MIT graduate, a woman named Ellen Swallow Richards, I first learned about from Jim Paterba, who's sitting here on the stage as the Marshal of Students, when I was visiting MIT as a prospective graduate student a little more than 6 years ago. And so in my mind, Ellen Swallow Richards is associated with that time period in my life and the choice to come to MIT, which I'm so grateful that I did. And so my view here with this speech is that if I can cause any sort of lasting associations in your mind, however weak, between this moment here right now, this graduation ceremony from MIT, and the life and career of Ellen Swallow Richards, then that will have been a graduation speech well spent. So who is this woman? Ellen Swallow Richards was the first female undergraduate at MIT. She obtained her degree here in 1873 as a special student at the then all-male institute, making her the first woman to obtain a degree from a scientific school and the first woman in the country to obtain one in chemistry. And she continued studying on at MIT in hopes of obtaining her PhD, but the institute ultimately refused to award the degree to a woman. But nevertheless, Swallow Richards blazed a trail for research, for women in research, and for science, and she did so here at MIT. But this is only the impressive beginning of an entire impressive career organized around goals that resonate with me personally, and I hope with many of you. Swallow Richards' research focused on the measurement and reduction of environmental harms, a topic that's close to my own research interests personally, where she collected water quality samples in Massachusetts at an incredible scale, collecting samples of polluted bodies of water across Massachusetts, a research effort that ultimately led to a collaboration with the Massachusetts State Board of Health that helped establish the first state water quality standards in the country and the first municipal sewage treatment plant in the country, located close to home here in Lowell, Massachusetts. And so Swallow Richards' career was characterized by a close connection between research and policy impact, where she had a meaningful impact on reducing environmental exposure and improving the health and well-being of residents of Massachusetts. And as we're all sitting here graduating today, I think that this story and these ideals likely resonate with many of us, as our research is motivated not only by a desire to understand, but actually to impact and hopefully improve the world. the MIT philosophy of mind and hand. And I hope that this is a philosophy that we can all take with us after this graduation, as effective policy requires careful, thoughtful, underlying research. Swallow Richard's career also exemplified a second important connection, not only between research and practice, but between research and teaching or advising. Because as an instructor at MIT, she helped establish the Women's Laboratory, which supported women conducting research at MIT before they were formally awarded undergraduate degrees from the institute. Research, as all of us have learned, is not a solitary pursuit. Supporting and improving others' work and teaching students is a central goal of research. All of us have benefited immensely from the dedicated support of faculty and other mentors here at MIT. And I look forward to continuing on in this tradition at our next institutions in the years to come. And so that brings us back here to today, which is not only an opportunity to reflect, but an opportunity to reflect in the presence of all of the people who supported us and helped us get to this day. Those who encouraged us, who pushed us, who taught us. To all of our advisors, thank you. To all of my peers, it was such a privilege to have learned from you over the past 6 years. And to all of our family and friends who are here today, thank you so much for supporting us. You were crucial in getting us to this moment as we learn to weather the ups and downs of research with the support and company of close friends and family. And finally, I imagine that many of you, and myself included, have people in your lives that so badly wanted to be here, but couldn't make it to this place or to this day. And I wish that they were here in this room with us too. But the beauty of this degree, a moment of reflection more than transition, is that many of these people in our lives were here for the most important parts. The curiosity sparked, the little breakthroughs, the obstacles overcome, the process of developing a love for our research and our field. That ultimately is the substance of the degree and what will continue on when we take off this hat and this puffy gown and leave MIT's campus. All of the rest is just pomp and circumstance. And so with that, I'll let us get on with the show. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Anna. So we now turn to the conferral of degrees. I declare the faculty of the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences convened. Anna will be the first graduate to be recognized. After that, we'll turn to the conferral of master's degrees. And finally, we'll proceed to the conferral of doctoral degrees in the investiture of academic hoods, hoods which identify their bearers as members of the Academy. So, let's now welcome MIT's newest scholars to the stage. With their graduation today, the faculty of this institution recognize their achievement and welcome them as peers.
Awarding the hood for Doctor of Philosophy on behalf of the Department of Economics, Professor Amy Finkelstein. Anna Russo, Doctor of Philosophy. Course 14, Economics, Master of Applied Science in Data, Economics, and Development Policy.
Abil Abdono de Vilme. Celine Krista F. Woitz. Neil Patel. Shotaro Beppu. Eric Natsubori Sato. Aisha Imran Malik. Ignacia Urea Bordones. Crystal Qian. Sitara Kambale. Barbara de Alencar Pitombera. Sofia Martinez. Teddy Onserio.
Course 21W, Writing, Master of Science in Science Writing.
Elizabeth Gamillo.
Course 17, Political Science, Master of Science in Political Science.
Liberty Ladd. Suyul Yun.
Investing Hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy on behalf of the Department of Economics, Professor Jonathan Gruber, Department Head, and Professor Arno Kostino, Associate Head.
Mohit Karnani Bagwan. Bumsu Kim. Basil Halprin. Mark de la Barrera y Bardelet. Viola Corradini. Roberto Corrao. Carlos Molina. Brandon Enriquez. Ying Gao. Laura Wei Wu. Evan Soltis. Charles Rafkin. Hannah Rubeck. Lucy Page. Lisa Ho. Kramer Quist.
Investing Hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy on behalf of the program in History, Anthropology, and Science and Technology and Society, Professor Deborah Fitzgerald, Department Head. Asia Grande.
Gabrielle Robbins. Stephen Gonzalez.
Investing Hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy in Linguistics on behalf of the Department of Linguistics and Philosophy, Professor Daniel Fox, Department Head.
Boer Fu. Daniel Asherov. Christopher Young. Cora LeSure. Peter Grishin. Vincent Roulard. Felipe Isao Gisales Kobayashi. Fu Lang Chen.
Investing Hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy in Philosophy on behalf of the Department of Linguistics and Philosophy, Professor Alex Byrne.
Jessica Ann Jaime.
Investing Hoods for the Doctor of Philosophy on behalf of the Department of Political Science, Professor David Singer, Department Head.
Nasir Talal Al-Masri.
Free Palestine.
John David Minnick. Elizabeth Knowles Parker Magyar. Rorisang Lekalake. Chloe Wittenberg. Nicole Wilson. Apexia Prasai. Stuart Russell. Matthias Giannoni. Jasmine English. Jacob Jaffe. Peter Cummings. Zachary Markovich. Adam Kaplan. Lee Chung Liu. Hao Zhang.
Please give a round of applause to all of our degree recipients.
With this, we conclude the degree conferral ceremony in the investiture of doctoral hoods. I now invite the faculty to join me in congratulating our master's degree graduates and welcoming our doctoral graduates to the Academy. Congratulations.
The ceremony has now concluded. We ask that you remain seated while the faculty recess, and then please join us on the ground floor for a reception.